This is a really important story. A deadly chemical found in some diet pills has been linked to the deaths of at least 33 people.
Yeah, DNP, or dinitrophenol, is to be added to a list of regulated poisons by the government. This is following a campaign by some families whose loved ones sadly died.
Bethany Shipsey from Worcester was sadly one of those who lost her life. That was back in 2017. And her parents, Doug and Carol Shipsey, join us now in the studio alongside Andreas Gerbativicius, whose son Vidotas passed away within an hour of being admitted to hospital after taking the drugs. Thank you all very much for joining us tonight. And I'm sorry for your losses. And I know, while some people might not have heard of DNP, you have made it your mission to raise awareness and fight this, haven't you? Doug, I wonder if you could start by telling us just briefly what happened to Bethany.
She bought what we say is so-called diet pills from the internet. She was encouraged to do that by a group of people discussing ways of losing weight on Facebook. Nobody knew what DNP was at the time. Herbal pills. Yeah, she took 2 or 3 pills, and unfortunately the toxic effect of DNP, you only need a small amount. There's no safe therapeutic levels, which is why it's been banned over the years from weight loss from agricultural use. And, you know, the toxicity just took over her, and within 4 hours, her heart couldn't withstand, you know, the toxic effects, and she went into cardiac arrest and died.
And what about your son, Andreas? Were you aware that he was taking these pills?
No. The first time we heard about the dinitrophenol after he died. He was using for some time for the weight loss, of course.
And tell us a little bit about the impact that's had on you, on the family. And I know that you've gone a long way to try and change this for other people as well.
It was really difficult first few years, and then to help ourselves, we just did the research. I researched everything what we could on DNP, on legality DNP, on toxicity, on explosivity, and everything else, and try to do anything to change that, to prevent other people from dying.
Carol, if I could bring you in here, I mean, you found out how Bethany got hold of it, didn't you? And this is still available online, is it?
It has been, yeah, very, very much so. And that's the thing, you know, we want to prevent future deaths, and that's why we've pursued this campaign to ultimately get DNP banned, because it's an horrific death. And there's a lot of young, vulnerable people that seek slimming aids, of which this isn't one to pursue at all.
And all of you have gone to great length to try and change the way that, you know, we're talking about this now. I know you went to Ukraine, didn't you, to chase a deal. Andreas, you went to Florida. What did you find, Doug, when you went there?
We found the guy who sold Beth the pills. The UK authorities at the time weren't taking the action to have that guy arrested and tried for selling killer pills. So I went there to seek answers directly and got a confession on camera. But unfortunately, you know, the events have taken over in Ukraine. You know, that guy will never do time for selling killer pills to Beth.
So today we've heard that there is going to be government legislation to classify it as a poison. I understand it's going to come in October of this year. Does this go far enough for you?
It was 10 years in the making, so it goes as far as they can at the moment. We were told, because after intensive research, the Home Office determined there's no legitimate uses in UK for DNP, so it means a total ban.
Carol, do you think the message is getting through?
Well, to be honest, I've been quite puzzled why DNP hasn't been given higher profile. You know, like we've already said, there's been, 33 deaths of young people through this terrible poison, and media only knows of a few because, it sort of seems to be kept, under the radar. So I hope it's infiltrating people now, because it's so important that people are educated, that it is such a lethal substance. And I'm hoping, following from today, that the message will get out and, well, actually people won't be able to obtain it, so, from October.
Well, we thank you all for coming in, and I think it's quite clear the emotional toll all of this has taken on you, but there are lots of people out there who will thank you for your fight and remember your children. Thank you.
So sorry for your loss as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.